What is going on, everybody? It's time for your Impact Wrestling review for June the 1st, 2017. It's the first episode of June, people. Well, it's got to be because the 1st of June. So it's technically got to be the first episode, regardless. Anyway, I'm excited. I'm excited to talk about Impact Wrestling tonight. It was a good show. It was kind of like Impact battling against the NBA Finals, game one of the NBA Finals, which turned out to be more of a blowout than anything. But it was pretty competitive during the time that Impact was on. So I was kind of curious to see, like, how many people may tune out to go watch the finals because the finals started in the middle of Impact. So I was kind of curious about that. But they did battle and they tried their best to hold their own with 3 title matches here on this show. And I definitely enjoyed the show overall. I thought it was good. Um, there was a lot of, like, this show felt short to me, not fell short, but felt short because there were so many matches. Like there was, like, I think one segment and like 2 backstage interviews, and then all the rest, everything else was matches. But overall, I like the show as far as like trying to compete with the finals, which I think it's hard for any wrestling company to do nowadays with how much basketball has grown within itself. I think they at least, they put up a good fight at least. Rabbit, any overall thoughts on tonight's show? I'm not like now. I'm not saying this is the greatest show of all time, but like I think as far as marketing, they did a pretty good job. Rapid.
It wasn't no show that can compete with none of that NBA Finals and none of that stuff. Nah, but it was just a decent show.
All right, Casey.
Well, Cleveland lost. They did. They came out on the losing side of the game. Oh, we're not talking about the game where Cleveland lost. Sorry. But yeah, I don't know. It was a good show, and it felt short. It felt short, didn't feel short. But at the same time, it wasn't one of those shows where I was like, oh, that's a memorable segment or that's a memorable match. Like nothing really felt memorable to me. I I don't know. It was good. It was just there was a couple of things that did fall short, I feel, to me, but we'll get to those.
Yeah, and like I said, I don't think it was the greatest show of all time. I just think marketing wise, when you put 3 championship matches in front of wrestling fans, I think that does help. Maybe steer you towards Impact instead of going to the finals. You never know, but it's hard to beat the finals anyway. It just is. I mean, especially considering that this year's finals is one of the most anticipated, regardless, just because it's third time they're playing. It's kind of it's tied now technically, I guess you could say. So it's interesting. But let's jump into the show. We started out with a video package on last week. I'll let you guys give your thoughts on that after I talk about EC3 and his EC Quartet group. Um, he brought out the Quartet group. He had the chorus out there, and they were singing his theme song, and they was singing uh, for he's a #1 contender or something like that, and stuff like that. And I thought it was, it was okay. It's pretty funny. I I felt like that during for he's a jolly good #1 contender or whatever. I felt like they didn't start on time. I felt like somebody started beforehand or somebody started too late or something. Like, but it sounded off to me when they started that one. Um, but I like this. I thought it was a good little segment to start the show out. I like the match that came from this with Bruce Pritchard and, well, all of Impact Management, I guess now, coming out as a unit for once, and still with Bruce Mantell, with Bruce Pritchard basically, being the spokesperson, saying that EC3 had to put up his shot for the #1 contenders match against the Gold Force Championship of Alberto El Patron. So I like this, and I like that that's kind of how they're making EC3 pay for what he's done or whatever. But you would think logically, like, he wouldn't be able to even be #1 contender because of the whole situation with Bruce and the referee. But I guess so. But it was a pretty good segment. The fans were not too happy about it, but I didn't think it was that bad as far as to start the show out. EC3 kind of being EC3, I guess. But Rabbit, thoughts on the EC3 Quartet group?
You hit on the nose right on at the end when you said being EC3. This is EC3. He was the only person in professional wrestling right now that set these things up. Just like last when he was feuding with Cowboy, he come out with the Cowboy outfit and all that stuff. Out of professional wrestling, he about the only one that's really paying attention to details like this, and I like that, man. Just like him and Aaron Rags, that character.
Casey, did he cut out on YouTube?
Yeah.
Okay. I was just curious because sometimes I don't know. Sometimes I hear different things than you guys hear. Well, we'll wait for him to come back and let Casey give his thoughts on the opening quartet segment.
This was bad. This was just, bruh. This was cringeworthy. I don't know. It was funny, but I don't know. I pass. I'm a pass. I don't even know what to say about it. That's how, like, it wasn't terrible. We've seen worse segments. It was just, why?
Yeah. All right. As Rabbit is getting settled in, Casey was not a fan. I was semi a fan. Rabbit, are you a fan of the quartet segment?
Where'd I go out at?
I don't exactly remember. Just start over.
Yeah, I like this one, man. Because I like EC3. Bottom line with him, his promos and everything. He A1 product every time he come out there, and I like this segment because it's detail oriented. I like him when he do that. It's like skits, and they come out there, everybody off key. It's like they ain't never practiced it or nothing, man. I like that, man. They've been out here before. I remember them before, but
yeah, he mentioned that.
Yeah, they've been out before, but they wasn't off key last time. This time, everybody was just on their own thing. That what made it funny. But yeah, I like this whole thing, man. I like all EC3 promos, or just like him and Cowboy was going at it. I like that when he came out with the cowboy outfit and all that stuff. I love this. Just like you said, he's just been EC3. This him right here. Mock opponents and all that stuff. Now he's celebrating the fact that he's number one contender. That's what you should do. You're a wrestler. You work the way to the number one contender, celebrate. I like it, man. I like this stuff right here.
All right. Next, we had Eli Drake versus Moose for the Grand Championship, where we had Bruce Pritchard, Dutch Mantel, and that other guy that I don't know his name on as the judges, which was nice. It was a nice change to actually know who the judges were. I expected Bruce and Dutch, especially since they're more vocal anyway, to kind of be a little bit more vocal as judges for this one. Maybe be on commentary, get them a headset or something. Especially since they're just to change it up, maybe for this one time or something, kind of see how it goes. But like I still didn't like that they weren't very vocal considering they were different. They were different judges. That was my only issue with this. And there was also no explanation to why they were judges. It was just like, we're judges. Hi, all right, guys, go do the match now. Like that's the only thing I didn't like is that like there was no true explanation. It was just like, we're gonna have special judges, and then like I had a feeling of who it was gonna be, but then they didn't really explain why they were out there judging. Was it because one of the judges was sick, or was it because one of the judges quit or whatever? Like they didn't necessarily explain it, which I didn't really like. But the match was good though. I liked it. I still don't understand. It felt like not EC3, but Eli Drake dominated practically all of this match, especially 2 of the 3 rounds. and somehow he didn't win. Because I felt like the first round he won. The second round I think could go either way, but I still was leaning towards Eli Drake. And the third round I definitely leaned towards Eli Drake. So like I didn't understand how he lost this match, and I'm wondering is that going to come up in like a Eli Drake versus the world type thing? Eli Drake and Chris Adonis versus the world, like crooked Dutch or crooked Bruce Pritchard or something like that, the Pritchard regime or whatever. Like I wonder is that going to come back on that? Is that why they did it that way? Because like it felt like it was lopsided to me. Like Moose looked good in the match, it just felt like Eli Drake technically won the match to me. But Moose does retain somehow by split decision. And it was a good match. Rabbit, did you have any thoughts? I think you said you didn't catch this match, but
Yeah, I missed this match right. I caught the end part when the last round where my man had control of that last round, but I only seen the last round though. So, but now I see them at the judges table. Now it's a table where all three of them at one table now, which is different. At first, the judges was like standing away where you barely could see them. So now you should have known they was gonna do this. All of them are camera hogs. They want to be on TV more than wrestlers. So any way they can get their face on the tube, they're gonna do it. So I already knew the judges thing was a matter of time for they stick their face in that spot right there. I already knew that was gonna happen regardless. And then I understand Pritchard, he gets up, he runs. Okay, you management and you paying for a bodyguard. What you running? You still running? He the first one up and running. I mean, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? If you got a bodyguard, you should just sit there now. You know what I'm saying? Bodyguard and your management. I mean, how many laws and things you need to save you? And you still running, you know? That's the only thing I don't get about that. But I knew eventually they was gonna be at the table though. Okay.
Yeah, I liked that they were the judges. If for nothing else, we at least knew who the judges were and their background and everything, so we know at least with that aspect they're legit. But I just couldn't get into this match for some reason, and kind of like DJ said, the fact that Eli Drake seemed in control of the entire first two rounds, and then he loses. I was like, what? Unless they're really building something with Moose, but I just don't know. I feel like there's still way too many questions about this division and this title than answers. So it's kind of, I don't know. I'm struggling to still. This title should have been on the top 15 titles. No one cares about anymore. I'm just saying.
All right. Let me ask you. I ain't see the first two rounds, but if one of those rounds were close, then you can understand if he won the last round and the other one of the other two rounds were close, even though you feel like Eli Drake might have won, but one of them had to be close. You see what I'm saying?
That's the thing. They're always close because the scores are always 9-10, 9-10. Like that's
no, I'm talking about as far as you watching the matches. What was the first two matches? Were they straight blowouts for Eli Drake, or was one of them kind of close?
I think which one was it? The third round was definitely Eli Drake. Yes, and the first round was definitely Eli Drake.
And in the second round was kind of iffy, right?
Yeah.
See, that's where you come in at. That's where it can go either way. When you got judges.
True.
Yeah, but if the first and the third were Eli Drake, then he would have won, though.
Because one of them, for like the other rounds, he stole. Because you got to remember, it's all about being aggressive and being, physical. It ain't really about wrestling moves and technique.
Also, to combat Casey's point of this title should be on the 15 championships that we don't really care about or that nobody cares about. Speaking of that, we got a video where we discuss that. So thank you for the plug, Casey. But
I disagree with that, but
I that's what I was gonna say. I disagree with that too, because and the reason I still like this title is because it still adds a unique aspect to wrestling that we don't see anywhere else. And to me, I feel like they're doing a good job of promoting this title like it means something. Like there may not be a bunch of storylines around it, but there's still like Moose. You know, every champion that's had this this title has said this is the best title in Impact. So or TNA or whatever whatever it was at the time they had it, they still said it was the best title in the company, and like that alone, as we said in that video, that alone will convince people that there's a possibility that it could be. Rabbit, did you want to give your thoughts on that?
But at the same time, you got to look at things as from management standpoint. The people that was running it at first, the emphasis was the match itself. So it was more emphasis what was going on in the ring. You're losing that now. It's not more emphasis on match to match and being aggressive. It's not really an emphasis on that too much no more. It's more emphasis on the judges and what do they feel and how they act. Now it's like a sea change. Because at first it was more concentrated. Every time we watched one of these matches at first, it was good, solid physical matches. You know what I'm saying? And at the end, you felt like it can go either way. You know? Now it's just more of, it looked like it's relying more on the scenery around, more of the judges and things that's happening around more than what's inside the ring. So now you're gonna get the fall off. When you look at it now, you're not getting the same vibe you was getting before. It felt more like a tournament at first, more of like something that was different, you know. Now it just seemed like they just in there 3 rounds. They not really going by the rules like they had it at first. At first, everybody was going by the rules. So now people getting there, it's like they ain't telling them anything. Just letting them do them. So that's why it seems different now, you know. You got to go back to who running it now, you know, that you're going to get a different flow. Just like you've changed coaches, you're going to get a different strategy behind what's going on. So I could feel a difference in that because at first, all these matches was solid. Every match for this belt was solid matches, all 3 rounds, tough. Now it's a little different.
Yeah. I think they put the focus on the judges too because that is a big component of it. The judge's decision is sometimes more important than what's even done in the ring. Because if the judge thinks you were physical and aggressive, well, I don't remember the 3 categories anymore. They were all practically the same anyway. If the judges feel like you exhibited those qualities, then I mean that's what wins you the match.
Let's see.
Yeah.
I think they kind of have.
Remember at first we didn't care what the numbers was. You didn't even bother even listen for that. You see what I'm saying? Because the matches were good and you didn't care about the numbers. What was 9, 10, or you didn't care. You know what I'm saying? Now you look for that now to see what's going on because there's more emphasis on that.
But I think, and this is how I would change it. I don't have a problem with them having emphasis on the judges because that is a big part of it. I would get rid of the scoring system and I would just go after each round to each judge and have them, who they picked for that round and why. I think that's part of it. We don't know why. We don't know why, this judge picked Eli Drake. We don't know why.
They were very similar to Gut Check. I think they did that during Gut Check.
Yeah.
Like after the match was over, they kind of explained, I like this guy.
And also, I still feel like we don't know how these guys are getting the number 1 contendership. Like, how do you get to actually earn a title or a shot at the title? That's, I think, where they're missing out too.
And because one of the ones that I've seen that actually kind of makes sense, but he hasn't even challenged for it yet, is Chris Adonis. Like you attack Moose, and Moose wants his revenge. Yeah. But obviously Chris Adonis is gonna be smart enough to say, well, I'm not gonna take him just to match with you, put the title on the line. So
yeah. Be honest with you, I think somebody like Big Papa Pump will fit in this type of match. Be honest with you.
We could move on to, we had a backstage segment with Allie and Rosemary. I I think that the one thing I got out of this, like Allie was trying to figure out why Rosemary was helping her out. You know, of all people, why would she help her out? Rosemary hasn't helped out anyone, so why is she helping me out? And Rosemary came up to her and kind of reassured her and said that in her weird Rosemary way, and talked about how we would protect you. Which commentary, I actually didn't hear it when she said it, but commentary mentioned it. And that I'm curious about that. Who's the we? Like, because like they kind of wrote the Decay off. So who is Rosemary now affiliated with? Is it a new Decay? Is it still the Decay, or like who is we? Is she like utterly confused and doesn't know the Decay is gone? So she's still saying we, or like I am curious about that, and I think that's kind of a good point to have. Rabbit, thoughts on the backstage segment with Allie and Rosemary?
Yeah, I like it because it's back to where she was from the beginning when she was by herself looking for people. When she was saying somebody before the K came out, when she was saying we, it's the same thing. And then she acknowledged the fact that her family was gone when she first came on. She said, both of our families are gone, but we still here to protect you, you know? So she's still in her mind doing the same thing she was doing before Abyss and Crazy Steve, you know? And before she started spreading the missing people. Remember, she started the whole thing. So obviously she about to start something new, but it would seem odd for her to start with Allie when she have like a couple thing going on. So she'd end up having to do both of them if that was to happen. You know what I'm saying? So it's obviously working on her mentally. I guess she end up spraying her with the mist soon, you know? So that's how she did it before. So it's obviously what's going on there. But I like the angle what they doing with her. They just got her floating around the knockouts and just, you know what I'm saying? Like a eagle or something, just picking the prey. You know, I like it. Okay.
She's clearly talking about the 7 deities, obviously. But I love this segment. I loved the interaction with Rosemary and Allie. I loved Allie's reaction, just being kind of terrified, and it was great. I loved it.
And Allie's terribly, like, she's like, I feel like we say this all the time, but I can't help but praise Allie. Like, she's too good at this character. like she's almost just too good at it.
You're right.
But next we had Allie versus Amber Nova. I don't know what Amber Nova was wearing, but my goodness, can she wear it every week? Like, good. Oh, anyway, I like this, but I couldn't help but think, because of the backstage segment with Allie and Rosemary, that Rosemary was going to get involved in some form or fashion, whether it be afterwards or there was going to be some Rosemary aspect within this, and there wasn't. And I was like, but what? But I like this match. I think it did a good job of showcasing Amber Nova too, which was kind of weird because it was like a weird jobber match. Like, Allie's not the one, not the type right now to have a jobber match, but like, so it was kind of weird, but still, I still liked it. I liked the little facebuster maneuver that Amber Nova did in the corner. That was a nice move. And then I love Allie's little freaking, like, just Allie's facial expressions. Like when she gets mad, she like gets that like I'm a little kid and I'm angry face. And she does like her little like power walk, like, bruh, Allie, bruh, she's the greatest. Anyway, this was a pretty good match though. I just felt like it was weird that it was kind of it was a jobber match, but it really wasn't a jobber match. It was just weird to me. Plus, I feel like this is the first time we've seen Allie out there without like Sienna or KM or Congo Kong or Laurel or anyone from that group like coming out and doing anything. So I thought that was kind of weird too. Maybe it was just the Rosemary effect or something. But Rabbit, any thoughts on Amber Nova versus Allie?
Yeah, like you say, it seemed odd because it's supposed to be, but it's two jobbers because she's playing a role of somebody still training. So it's the fact that she playing the role so good. It would make it seem so odd. You know what I'm saying? Because in your mind, you know she can wrestle, but this seems like a job, two jobbers going at each other. You know, so that will make her character. She doing it. She playing it well, man. I love the way she playing her character, man. I've been liking this since the beginning, man. Not like at the end when she just started hugging everybody. It ain't even about beating people up for her. It's just the fact that I'm getting better. Look, I just won. You know, and I like the way she's playing this character, and it's perfect. It's just she playing a character somebody just new to this and just like just happy to be here, man. Just that
Yeah.
not really argue about nothing. Just I'm learning and I'm just happy to be here. Just hug everybody, even hug the person you just beat.
Yeah, that,
grabbed her neck and almost choked her out. Man, I'm like, man.
and I love Nova's reaction too. She was like, she played it well too. Like, wait, what?
She like, no. But Ali, I mean, she put me in training and everything, but she got some nice clotheslines. They stiff, and she got some running behind them too. So like a little finisher. They can call it what, the Ali, Death Valley Driver or something.
Yeah. Did you catch the? She had her in the corner, and she did, instead of running at her, she did the power walk. I was like, bro, I'm done. Oh my god.
I'm liking her. You know, I'm liking it. Almost don't. I'm saying because it changed the character, but I like it. I like the way they moving with it. Just like I said last week, I wanted to see how they progress. Is she gonna come in as a bona fide wrestler and just wrestle, or they gonna keep learning? And I like the way they doing it. Still learning, and it's perfect. I like it. Okay.
Yeah, I definitely liked it. I loved Ali hugging her at the end. That was awesome. And I like that they're bringing these new people in, even if they're just used as jobbers in the beginning. I mean, everyone has to start somewhere, and usually you start as enhancement, which is basically what a jobber is, just to enhance, to help put over other people, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. But I have seen Amber Nova a few times in other promotions, so that was cool. But I just don't like that we're finally starting to see. It feels like we're starting to see Ali kind of grow into her own, kind of as a character on Impact, as a wrestler. Obviously, we know she can wrestle from other promotions, but we're finally getting to kind of see Ali kind of, get comfortable with, she's obviously, in the storyline still learning, but we're seeing more and more from her, which I definitely like. And I was kind of upset that they didn't do anything with Rosemary, just because it kind of, I don't know. I kind of wanted to see something with her in this match, but
All right. Next we had the finals in the GFW Tag Team Championship tournament, the prestigious GFW Tag Team Championships, by the way. We had the Impact Tag Team Champions, LAX, going up against Veterans of War. This match was good. I liked it. I thought the match was good. I feel like this match had all the qualities of going either way, just because Veterans of War, they're the new hot tag team, they could win, but also LAX, they got the numbers game, which they used a lot in this match. They got obviously the chemistry. They've been working together for longer. They're the Impact Tag Team Champions, so they should win this match. And I'm glad they did win this match, because you don't see dual champions a lot, and when you do, I feel like it feels like it's special. So I was excited to see LAX win this, especially as a unit. They did a good job, especially considering this match was no DQ for some reason, which was weird to me that it was no DQ, but it was. But I liked that this match was no DQ, because it did help LAX out a lot, and it kind of sets up Veterans of War to potentially beat them in like more of a traditional style match. But I kind of want to see what they're gonna do with this, because now they have LAX, they have all the titles, so obviously they're gonna be on their high horse as much as possible here in the next couple of weeks. So I wonder how they're gonna continue to build this up until Slammiversary, because I feel like this is gonna be the match we're gonna see at Slammiversary. LAX is pretty much dominant in this match. I felt like VOW came in. They were good at times. I feel like Wilcox was the one that was probably the best out of Veterans of War. But I mean, they did good, but I like even Diamante got involved. I like that she gets involved too because a lot of times you don't see the women getting involved. So I was glad to see her get involved too. But LAX does get the win. They are now the Impact Tag Team Champions and the Global Force Wrestling Tag Team Champions. So that's pretty interesting. I want to see what they're going to do with this coming up. I think the only thing I didn't understand about this last point with this match is I don't know if they really like promoted the fact that they had beef from before. Like it was just kind of like it was a match. Like it was just a match. Like I don't think they necessarily promoted the fact that there was, some sort of rivalry already started before with the whole American flag thing. Now, commentary mentioned it a little bit, but I don't feel like the teams necessarily mentioned it that much. But Rabbit, thoughts on the GFW prestigious GFW Tag Team Championship?
Yeah, I like them LAX, man. Both of them quick. I like their combos and all that. And finisher, that what's that? Street sweeper. I likes that, man. And VOW, they knew together, so you're not expecting them to be real crisp with everything, just like they wasn't. But some of their moves were good. I like their slingshot into the suplex. Now that's nice. You know what I'm saying? But I like Wilcox. I've never seen him before until he came with Impact. So I'm really judging him as I'm watching him week by week. And he's strong. I like the way he do his small drops. So I like it, the power. He remind me of the Bushwhackers, for real, for real. And he do the double clotheslines. When they do the double clotheslines, that was nice too. So he's strong and powerful with his, and them two together with Mayweather. I like it. I like it. So I like the fact that they put Homicide in here. He did his little thing here and there. I like the fact that they got the girl coming in all the time. She gets physical. So I like that too. And when they had my man in the middle of the ring and all of them came in and was punching him. I like that. Everybody came in and punched everybody. She ain't stand on the side, none of that. She came in there too and started wailing on him. So I like that too. So, and the fact that these two LAX got the belts, I don't understand. It means they not unifying them, or it's obviously not unifying because they haven't said a word of unifying anything, and already somebody had both titles. So obviously they're not doing that. So, but I do like LAX, the fact that they got the belts, and in this match, it seemed like every time VOW get a little, momentum, LAX had that number. You know what I'm saying? They just too quick with them. Even when they came in, my man hit him with that leg sweep and just start working on his leg for the rest of the match. Man, I like that, especially in tag team matches when you zero in on something, and both of you punish him. You know what I'm saying? So I like that. That's why I like tag team matches too. So, as far as I'm concerned, I don't have no problem with LAX having both belts, but I do want to see, are they unifying them, or they just gonna have two titles running around in the company? You know what I'm saying? It's not a huge company for you had two tag team titles. You know what I'm saying? You could have had, that could be a women's title. You know what I'm saying? Instead of you having two titles. So I'm trying to figure out what's that about. So the fact that they ain't mentioning it means they not unifying them. You know what I'm saying? They're not even mentioning it with the heavyweight title. So obviously, I don't know. I guess they're not doing it. That means Lashley should be able to clean house. You know what I'm saying? So that's my guess.
They're trying to keep DFW alive, is what it is.
I think so. Case.
Yeah, I like the match. I definitely, am liking Wilcox more and more. When it first debuted, I wasn't really too sure about him, but I definitely like him. I like that this was DQ or no DQ. It made it make more sense, and it helped LAX a lot. I just feel like the tournament itself felt way too short.
Yeah. It was for those prestigious titles,
They should have added more teams. They should have had be a longer tournament and had the finals be at Slammiversary or like a little bit before Slammiversary, and then have a unification match at Slammiversary, because they have to unify all these titles. They have to, just for the fact that it's no longer TNA, and all the Impact titles have TNA on them. So you have to unify these titles. You have to get new titles. There's no way they're going to get around that. So there's definitely, either, LAX is going to drop one of the titles to another team, and there's going to be a unification match at some point. There has to be for all the titles. And that's kind of what they're building up to. It's just I don't understand the booking here. I like that LAX did win and they're dual champions, but at the same time, it makes it even harder to unify the titles that eventually. But I definitely did like the match.
Falaba said he got some titles too he want to unify.
That's what we need. We need Falaba to be, he need to hold all the gold, all of it. Every single piece of gold he has to have. Him and Congo Kong. That's what we need, a tag team, baby. Come on now. But I missed Congo Kong this week. I'm be honest. I did. I was a little sad. A little sad. No Congo Kong this week. But we went backstage with Joseph Park and JB. And Joseph Park, he just trying to encourage the man. He just trying to encourage JB that, Joseph Park, he done been through a lot too, and we can beat this Scott Steiner fella. We can do it. And Jim Bush is like, nope, I'm not going to do it at all, ever in life. So Jeremy Bush is backing down, which is odd because Josh Matthews said this, and I expected it to be like a big old lie, and it wasn't. So that was confusing and surprising. But I wonder what they're going to do with this, though, because somehow, obviously, this is going to happen. Like, obviously this is going to happen somehow. So I wonder how they're going to do it. But Rabbit, thoughts on JB and JB not wanting to face Scott Snyder? Your boy?
Yeah. This was a sweet promo, man. I love this promo. Because first of all, JB played his role perfect. He played the role perfect of being completely scared and don't want to hear nothing else. Don't want to hear nothing you got to say. You can't talk me into it. This is Big Papa Pump, Scott Steiner. That's it. We're not training. Ain't nothing we gonna be doing. I'm not getting in there with him. Simple as that. You know what I'm saying? I love this joint, man. My man's still trying to talk to him. Hey, I'm Pox and Pox. Nobody care about that, man. That's Big Papa Pump. Pox supposed to be new to this. He probably really don't know who Papa Pump is. You know what I'm saying? So, and JB like, no, I got in this business 15 years ago to be a commentator. I knew I didn't want to get in that ring. I know I ain't getting there with no Big Papa Pump. I like the joint. I like the joint. Then the lady on the side always just standing there. She just hold the mic. You know what I'm saying? That's all she do. Casey,
I don't know about you, but I was waiting for that big, training montage after Joe said, starting right now, they're going to start training. I was waiting for like a training montage with like music and stuff. It didn't happen. I don't know. I definitely, I like Joseph Park and I like, what they're kind of doing with this. I just, either way, it's not going to be a good match. So it's just not going to be a good match.
Me myself is trying to figure out what kind of way they can make this match to make it entertaining. And man, I can't think, because you got Joseph Parks. He's not Abyss, so he's not gonna be a hardcore. So you can't go, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know how they're gonna do this. If you go straight match, you're gonna fall asleep watching this. There's no way you gonna put Parks in there with a Big Papa Pump 55 years old. So they figure something out, set something on fire, have a bitch come out, something. Other than that ain't gonna work. I'm with Casey on that one.
I feel like Abyss is gonna come out in some form or fashion.
Something got to happen, because he got to come from out of the ring, the bottom, something. Because that's my man, Big Papa Pump. But no, this ain't gonna work. I'm with Casey on this one. It's not gonna work.
All right. Moving on, we had Low Key versus Andrew Everett for the X Division Championship. Rabbit, I'm gonna give you this one first.
Low Key. See, this is the reason why Then I like his promos too, because he let you know he talked the way he wrestled, stiff, intense. Man, this man do the running kick, almost knocked my man chest into his back. Man, he just knocked dog. His double knees. I've asked people just look low key up, man. Just look him up and watch him, man. You gonna watch a fluid wrestler that don't botch nothing. It's never a botch going on with low key ever. The man is so precise with his moves, crisp. Man, he do the spin kick where he come around the back of your head. Oh man, that thing be so stiff. Then I don't understand how is he wrestling with this suit on? The whole suit. Well, I like Everett. He had a nice Pele kick too, man. The old joint my man used to do. That he in WWE now. AJ Styles. That was pretty. I love that him. And matter of fact, Pope was mentioning people that does that. And I think Josh Matthews started talking about some other stupid stuff, but my man Pope pointed out that was pretty. That Pele was pretty, man. I like that joint. So other than that, man, low key's a beast, man. There was a decent match. It wasn't nothing to write home about. It wasn't, you know what I'm saying? But if you want to watch low key, man, look him up, watch his match. Just watch him, man. He's just so precise and crisp with his moves, man. Wrestling move. Then we did that stomp off the top. It's like coming out the Raptors, you know? Boom. Nice and pretty. I love him, man. That's my man. Case.
Yeah, I liked the match. It wasn't anything great. It wasn't even for X Division standards. I didn't think it was a too great of a match, but it was good. I was more kind of into what was going on with Sanjay Dutt. When is he coming back? What's up with his eye and everything? Because I'm waiting for him to come back because I feel like they want to set up like a storyline or a feud between him and Low Ki, which I'm definitely excited for. Two originals kind of going for the title, and I'm excited for Sanjay to eventually win the title because they keep talking about how he's the greatest X Division champion to never hold the title. So obviously they want to eventually give him the title. It just depends on how what's going on with his eye. He obviously had an eye patch on at commentary, but I'm kind of more excited for that eventually. But I love Andrew Everett too, so it was a good match.
For me personally, Sanjay Dutt, over the years, man, he had beasts in situations, but overall, all around, he was never really no championship contender, man, ever. So when Low Ki be saying you never was good enough to be the champion, he was right. He right with that promo, man, because he never was that good to be actually a champion at any time. So if it's now, I can't see him beating Low Ki to get that belt. So I don't know how that's gonna happen. But yeah, over the years, he never really was a person to put in that spot.
I don't know. I could have seen Sanjay Dutt as champion. Personally.
What year would that could have been? Because you talking about back when the X Division was loaded.
Well, probably back when he and Lethal was going at it.
Lethal.
I can see. Personally,
I don't know. Even Lethal was more of a person you'll see as champion more than Sanjay Dutt. It's just something Sanjay Dutt missing overall as a package.
Mm-hmm.
In the ring, he a beast. And inside that ring, he one of the best.
Okay. Let's get into Swoggle. He was out in the crowd a couple times tonight. And Josh Matthews like, what is this man doing out in the crowd? He probably snuck in with somebody in somebody's bag, or he was somebody's child or something. Either I can't remember if it was Matthews or Pope that said that, but it was funny. But Swoggle was out there, and they put the camera on him one more time, and here comes Spud, baby. Here comes Spud. At first, I was like, how Spud not halfway dead? Like, he should have, like, wrappings. He should be, like, in a wheelchair still beating the man up. Like, I'm going to be honest. but but he was still selling it, so I was kind of okay with it, even though he is still supposed to be like halfway dead. So that was kind of unfortunate. Um, but I definitely I like the attack. I just felt like it wasn't enough. I don't know about you guys, but I felt like it wasn't enough after all. Like as much as Swaggle laid into him, like I just don't feel like it was enough. Like I think he took it lightly on him, and that's the only thing I didn't like. I also didn't expect Spud to actually show up. I expected him to kind of get somebody else to do it. But Rabbit, thoughts on the Spud Revenge tour?
Yeah, he got me by surprise. I ain't expect him to come out of the crowd. I wasn't even thinking about him coming out of the crowd like that. But then once he started welling on him, the fact that he's still selling the leg was good. That was perfect. But then you cannot put your weight on the leg and kick with the other leg. So you got to keep conscious of the joint the whole time. But I love the way he limped when he was walking. That was a nice limp.
I noticed, and I actually didn't even notice that, but I just thought about it. When he was kicking him, they were really soft kicks though, which makes sense because he was on the injured leg. I get it now.
Exactly. Details for sure. But I love the way he opened my man's legs up and put that thing right in. See, you said, I agree with you though. He didn't go far enough. He didn't continue.
I mean, Swaggle wasn't playing.
But he wasn't light on him though. Because when he opened his legs up and hit that thing in between his legs, boy, you really ain't got to hit him no more after that, for be honest with you. Party is over, you know? But yeah. I like these two right here, man. It's gonna be funny. I want to see these two in the cage, man. Honest with you. You want to be, but I want my man to stay in his character limping like that. I want him to stay just like that. First of all, he was in a wheelchair last week. 2 weeks ago, he was bandaged up. So you should at least limp from this point on. You know what I'm saying? At least give us that. So I like the way he did the limping when he's walking. I like that. So if he stick that in his character, which I was saying last week, it's clear that he is coming up with a new character when he come out of this. And I'm hoping he be limping like that.
I only got one thing to say. I didn't mean to pull his pants down.
Case.
Yeah, this is the one segment that really fell short to me. Kind of like DJ said, there just wasn't enough. I don't know. Also, I feel like he should have been, when he was attacking when he was attacking Swaggle, he should have been yelling, "I didn't mean to pull your pants down." Just the whole time. He should have done that. Also, Earl Hebner, he ain't got no chill. He don't play no games. He just walked up and grabbed the hammer out of his hand. I'm like, yeah, this man the GOAT. Everyone else is afraid. Earl just walks up. No, stop it.
That's typical Earl, though.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on to the main event. Also, real quick, one thing I didn't understand is how can the fans boo Spud for this?
Yeah, he didn't need to pull his pants down.
That's true, but like didn't Swaggle do it to him first? The fans were just all upset at Spud. I was like, bruh, how can you blame him? He didn't.
Yeah.
Anyway,
also, where was Spud Mama?
that is true. She should have came out. He'd be like, "Mom, K-Fed."
She didn't have to come out. Earl just came out and said, "Stop."
Earl was his daddy. He said, "Stop it."
He should have said, "Earl, K-Fed, Earl." Oh my God.
Earl should have just hit him. Get back there. I ain't raised you like that.
All right, let's jump into the main event. We had EC3, Ethan Carter III, going the number one contender for the Impact World Championship, going up against Alberto El Patron, the Global Force Wrestling Global Champion, which is weird to say, the GFW Global Champion, in 6 sides of steel. Winner take all. Winner gets the Global Championship and becomes the number 1 contender for the Impact World Championship. I like this match. I did. I love the DDT out of the corner that El Patron hit. I thought that was beautiful. I like the Samoan drop from the top of the from the top rope. Like, well, he was trying to escape, but then like when EC3 got set up for that for a double foot stomp, I was like, bruh, no. I was like, bruh, don't do it to him like that. And he did it to him like that. And then I thought EC3 was gonna go, instead of going for a Samoan drop, I thought he was gonna go for the TKO, but maybe that was just me, or TK3. I was really expecting that, and they tricked me with the Samoan drop. But El Patron does end up winning the match. I was surprised that James Storm didn't get involved in this match. And, like, I know it's in the cage, but still, like, I feel like if EC3 cost you the championship, why wouldn't you come back and cost him the championship? Like, I felt like James Storm. It was weird that James Storm didn't get involved in this match, because I feel like they're leaning towards that potentially being a match at Slamversary. But I don't know. Definitely a good 6 sides of steel match. I'm excited to see Del Rio trying to go for redemption. I kind of hope he doesn't beat Lashley, but I feel like he's going to. But anyway, because it's kind of that whole big redemption story. So, but Rabbit, thoughts on the 6 sides of steel?
6 sides of steel. I love this match. It was decent because I like it more of because EC3 again. His character, not only his character, his wrestling, everything has just grown so much, man. He physically, I don't talk about, you don't hear too many people talk about his how physical he is, man, how strong he is, man. But he is, man, and then he in tip top shape, man. Like Lashley, Big Pop Pump back in the day, man. I like this dude, man. EC3, I like, man. I like when he had my man with the boot to his neck, had him outside the cage, the little hole in the cage, the camera hole. That's I love that, man. He had him grind his neck right on that cage hole.
The big camera hole, you mean?
Yes.
that actually made official. You cannot escape from no anymore.
Choking him out on that joint, man. Just like you said, when he did that the hurricane over the top rope. Nasty, man. And then he did so many suplexes and power moves in this match, which shows his stamina. Like I was saying, man, when you wrestle like this, to get to that top level, man, you gotta be at the end of the match doing power moves. And man, at the end of this match, he was doing sit out power bombs, back to back, suplexes. I mean, he was doing face front slams out of the electric chair joint, man. He was killing them in that joint, man. The tilt-a-whirl joint. I mean, dog, EC3 put it all out in this match, though, man. It's one of his most physical matches he had in a while, since the Angle match, the feud. And Patron had his bright spots here and there, but I didn't like the fact that his whole thing in this whole match was running away, trying to get out the cage. And the whole thing with EC3 in this whole match was catching him and trying to get him back. You know what I'm saying? So that was the whole storyline of the match. You know what I'm saying? The whole match, the first half to a quarter, 75% of it, he was running, trying to get to the top. So he was not actually engaging in wrestling. It was just more EC3 grabbing him and putting him in power moves off the top of the cage, everything, man. It was just every way he grabbed him, he was trying to do a power move. It was one of his best power matches I ever seen him in. He had that modified, my man, we keep calling it a modified 1%er. When he came around the corner and ran around the side of him, caught him with that joint, man. Nasty. The fact that he innovating the 1%er is cool too. I like that. It remind me of Diamond Dallas Page when he do the diamond cutter from anywhere. You know what I'm saying? And when he hit you with that joint, you was sleeping. You know what I'm saying? So I like it, man. It's perfect. I just like EC3, man. This match, man. He outshined Patron until the end, man. My man did that thing off the top cage, the
Ooh.
double stomp off the
Ooh.
top cage, and caught my man hanging off the top rope. He knocked him out so good they had to get up and grab him and put his legs out of there. He was stuck up in that joint and yank him out of that thing. Come on out of there, boy, so I can pin you. You know what I'm saying? Then he got up that joint and frog splashed to finish it off. So at the end was nice for Patron, but the whole match itself was just straight EC3. I mean, at the top level, man. Pure match, pure moves, no botching. I just liked the whole thing. Power moves the whole time, man. I just liked it. Then the fact that you're right, I thought Storm was gonna come in somewhere involved somehow. You know what I'm saying? Because it's no continuity in what they doing. Because 1 week you're doing this, and then the next week we gotta remember it because you're not even gonna put it on the screen. You know what I'm saying? So I don't. That's the only thing about the continuity about this stuff for the last 3-4 months. It just be blowing me, man. Keep the continuity at least, man. You know what I'm saying? But just like you said, I expect the Storm to come run out there and at least try to catch my man when he's trying to keep always running out the cage. You know what I'm saying? At least try to push him back in. That's what I thought was gonna happen the whole time, but it didn't. And the fact that EC3 lost, I don't know where he go from here. You know what I'm saying? If you lost to the prestigious global belt, I don't know where he go. Where he go to the my man Moose, or what are you gonna do here? Would he fall off the map? I know they can't do that. So I don't know what kind of direction they taking him now. So that's the only thing that kind of shocked me. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I didn't care who won because going up against Lashley, either one of them would have been good, been a good match. So I wouldn't have been disappointed anyway. So, but I just like the EC3, his stamina and power in this match. Case.
Yeah, this was a good match. For me, I was confused. Like, why was this a cage match? It felt like it was just a cage match for the sake of being a cage match. You know, usually when you set up a cage match, it's, to keep, the competitors in, or to keep somebody from escaping, or to keep somebody out. But like you said, Storm didn't come out. There was nothing with Storm. EC3 would have been the one I would feel like would be trying to escape, but he's obviously not trying to escape, to win the title. And El Patron isn't going to try to escape. But so it was kind of like, is this just a cage match for the sake of being a cage match? Because I don't like that. I want there to be a reason behind it. But definitely a good match. I like that El Patron retained. It made sense, especially if. And I hope they start to build up, the unification of titles, because, like I said, they have to do it. And what better place to build it up and do it is Slammiversary, your biggest show of the year. But like Rabbit said, either one would have been a good match against Lashley. I'm just curious to see how they book that match when it comes.
Well, all right. That was your Impact Wrestling review for the first day of the 6th month of 2017. June 1st, 2017, if you don't know what I mean. But anyway, we'll see you guys next time. Hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to hit that subscribe button for us. I could actually say it this time. Thank you.
I made they're going to be in India next week.
Yeah, I think it's live next week too.
When is Slammiversary?
It is July, like the first Sunday in July, I think.
July 2nd, I think.
Yeah, July 2nd. So.
Oh.
But we will see you guys for the next episode, which will be from India. So that's pretty cool. We won't be in India, but I mean, we might. You never know. We might be in India. You never know. But we'll see you guys next time. We do hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to hit the subscribe button for us. Be sure to follow us on Twitter and give us your thoughts on Impact each and every week at ICW_podcast. We'll see you guys next time. We do hope you guys enjoyed Impact Wrestling Review on the Instant Classic Wrestling Podcast. The only podcast that is always, and I mean always, an instant classic.